Hello and welcome to a new video. I'm taking this Honda Trail 125 out for a ride. I'm starting out at Cox Park by the Ohio River. It's pretty busy down here. Yeah, it's pretty busy because it is Sunday, July 6th. So a couple days after the 4th, people are still lighting off fireworks and hanging out at public spots where you can do that. And I figured I would take this Trail 125 out for a ride. It's been a while since I've taken this for a ride because it's been so incredibly hot during the day with you know, highs in the 90s and heat index, you know, over 100. So didn't quite feel like taking this out for a ride when it's quite that hot. I've also been busy, so this is going along the Ohio River. I think there's road work down here that has the road blocked. So I'm not going to go that way because it's all torn up. So I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. And also give a nice view of the river around sunset. Because I keep forgetting that they have parts of the road shut down through here. So off to the right is the Ohio River. And there are some boat docks down through here. Then this little parking strip over here on the right, where it's pretty common to see people doing what that guy was just doing, and I myself have done. You know, pull whatever it is up there and take a picture of, get a nice picture with the river as the backdrop, and if you get the right golden hour sunset shot, it can look pretty amazing. Yeah, so this is River Road, and I've done multiple videos where I've gone through these areas, so nothing all that new going through here. And something that is funny with previously, before this, I had a Honda Navi. And when I would come through here, the Honda Navi, the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. The Navi couldn't always do that. The Trail has no problem. Just a little bit higher top speed. and it's in the temperature's in the 80s now instead of in the 90s, so it's a little bit more tolerable. Since I've taken this route many a time, especially on these videos I've edited, I'll probably just go ahead and jump ahead to some different scenery. So right now I'm under the expressways, the area that goes back to the dock for the Battle of Louisville. There's usually always another steamboat that's also back here. I think it changes from time to time. I don't think you could go through here on a car. Well, there are other pathways you could get through, just not that specific one. I think I'll need to cut around this. I think they're doing construction on some of this stuff. Some road improvements. I did a video, at this point, it's been a couple months, back in April, when there was some pretty massive flooding in the city. The area I just went through was all underwater back then. This is Main Street, which on a Sunday night after 8 or 9 p.m. it's not looking super busy. And then going down through here, on the left in a minute will be the Louisville Slugger Museum, which will be the big baseball bat. That's a museum devoted to baseball bats. A lot of red lights down through here. And this is again Main Street. Going west, heading west of downtown. And there was some movie, I'm actually forgetting what the name of it was right now. But it had, the actress, Hayden Panettiere, who was on the show Heroes and was just, in the past couple of years, was in Scream 6. And then Scream 4, back years before that. And then I'm also forgetting the actor's name, who was in Everybody Hates Chris and some seasons of The Walking Dead. And other stuff that I'm not aware of, because I don't watch a ton of TV. I think he might be on the Abbott Elementary, maybe, I forget. But they filmed a movie that was about a kid. I think it's called Amber Alert. I think that's what it's called, Amber Alert. Some kid got kidnapped in Louisville, and they shot it in Louisville, or at least parts of it. And they're following the person in like a Uber. And it was funny because at one shot they were at one place, and then the next scene they were going through the area I was just going through on a main street as you head west out of downtown. And it's just those little things you notice if you live somewhere that things are filmed. That hey, the road doesn't go that way, and this part of town is not right next to this part, so. I'm sure people that live in LA, New York, Atlanta get to see stuff like that a lot, and get to see a ton of instances of things being laid out logistically in a way that make no sense. But finally had a chance to see that for Louisville. Now this is Main Street in 24th. I forget how far it goes down. Again, I try to go on rides that I record video of through different parts of town occasionally, and go through areas I haven't gone through before, just to show different neighborhoods instead of only recording stuff at the same spots every single time. I don't always succeed at that. I don't always know what, outside of the routes that I know, or solid routes, I'm not always sure, going through different parts of town, what are some ideal areas to go through. A lot of stop signs. So this is Main and 29th Street. I think I know where this goes. So it's just interesting because there's these, different areas of town that at one point would have been bustling areas of factories and shipping ports and all this stuff. And then over time, as the country grew up and changed, and shipping stuff via river boats became less prominent, and stuff was being transported via rail and on the road, some of this stuff fell away. Maybe I don't know where this goes. Okay, well, I guess I'll get back to Market Street, because that goes the opposite direction back into downtown. Because I've done different videos where I've gone to like Shawnee Park and Chickasaw Park and through a number of those areas. So this is heading back towards downtown Louisville. Because I would really like to take a long scenic ride soon, where I take this out to a more rural area with actual trails to go through. So I just have to coordinate when that will be, because those kinds of trips, you know, obviously take a while. Especially when your top speed is 55 and you can't take the expressways. So I do have to kind of plan things out a little bit. Because sometimes if a round trip, you know, if the round trip to somewhere is 2 hours plus however much time I spend when I get there, then that can make things take a bit of time. So I like to plan those for days when I have nothing going on, especially when I don't have to work the next day. So then off in the distance you can see the buildings, maybe. There are a lot of red lights through this area. I didn't realize there were a handful of gas stations down through here. Because once you get into downtown Louisville itself, there are not many gas stations. Because there was one that closed. I forget if there are other ones, but there aren't many. And depending on the way you're going, there may not be any at all. But if you go to the west, downtown Louisville, there are a few. And then if you leave downtown Louisville and go to different neighborhoods like the Highlands or Germantown, then there are some. But not many in the actual part with all the buildings. And since the 4th of July was just a few days ago, a couple days ago, there are probably still people lighting off fireworks. Probably won't be any through downtown. The area where I started at, Cox Park, there were people doing fireworks there. And that's not really in downtown, that's kind of east of downtown, along the river, but yeah, we continue to approach the main strip of downtown, just passing 12th Street and Market. And this light can take a while, so I'll be stuck here, but in the video I'll just jump ahead. Alright, so in motion again. And I won't record my entire ride back home. I'll, once I get to a decent stopping point here, I'll wrap up, but this is Main Street. Or not Main Street, this is Market Street. is funny because out of the motorcycles around me, this is by far the smallest and most quiet. And on the left is Derby City Gaming, which is the fake casino. Just crossing 2nd Street, which leads to the 2nd Street Bridge, which is one of the bridges to get between Kentucky and Indiana. And the 2nd Street Bridge is free, has no tolls. Still pretty warm and pretty humid out. It feels, you know, once you get the breeze going through this helmet, it feels pretty nice, but at a standstill, I'm constantly flipping the visor up at every light. Another red light coming up here. And then this is about to get to the Nulu area. Well, if I can ever get through all these 1,000 red lights that I keep getting stuck at, but in the Nulu area that I'm about to go through, kind of like a gentrified neighborhood that now has a lot of restaurants and bars and shops and stuff that are all actually pretty nice, pretty fun. It has been in the news lately though, because on the weekends, on like a Friday or Saturday, there have been some different people attempting to do street takeovers. Not the kind you would think of where people block the intersection and do burnouts and donuts, but instead where just a bunch of people come and gather like in the street. And the city tried to put a stop to that pretty quickly. I mean, right now there's a bunch of construction going on anyway. The roads through here are a little rough right now in stretches. So it's not all that aesthetically pleasing right now because it has all that road construction going on, but alright, so I guess I can wrap this right up. So I started down at Cox Park by the Ohio River, kind of went along the river going back towards downtown, went through downtown to kind of West Louisville on Main Street, and then came back on Market, and then took that Market all the way down through Nulu as it's nearing Baxter Avenue, the Bardstown Road area. But yeah, that'll wrap up this ride. Until next time.